me.
Generals gathered in their masses.
Get out of the way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber, and this is Office Hours, reporting live from the Office Hours with Amber YouTube channel. This is the first. I finally bit the bullet and decided to create a new channel. Welcome to Office Hours. Oh, the audio's working. God bless. I forgot. I haven't made a new YouTube channel since 2007, so I didn't remember how many little details it takes to, like, get things back to where I wanted them. Like, to be able to live stream, you have to, like, go through, like, the verification process and so I was gonna start this, like, a few weeks ago, but then I was like, oh, wait, I don't have any of the credentials ready for this. Yeah, so the reason why we're on the Office Hours with Amber account is because I want to be able to do more fun, craft, hobby, non-professional things over on the AmJamber YouTube. And I realized I can't, if I'm going to be playing video games or doing crafts or doing that stuff, it's going to muddy the waters for people trying to actually figure out what I do. And it's already difficult enough for people to know what I do. So I was like, why not make it just a little easier? You get professional content here, you get Amber unfiltered, more unfiltered, a little bit more of a person over there. So if you're tuning in, this is week 6 of Engineering Improv, where each week I am building my business systems 1 week at a time, where I take basically the backlog of all of my great ideas of what I should, like, things that I think would improve my business, streamline my business, since I am a solopreneur. We will take all the time we can get. So yeah, for the next, basically what I do is I look through my backlog of good ideas. I put it in a wheel of names. I spin the thing and it tells me what we're doing for the next hour. I think that's all of the updates. Oh, actually, so last week on Office Hours with Amber, or Engineering Improv, I started looking for a task habit project management style application, and I started exploring Xtiles. And if you want to see my click around and find out basically my first 4 hours of trying to learn how that software works, I posted that on the other channel. But I'm gonna set up the playlist so that all of the content lives on this page. But anyways, so with that being said, I like Xtiles, and I will admit the phone wasn't as easy to use. And I was really bummed about that. I wish I had an easy way to, like, share my phone. And I'll show you, like, what I got set up in Xtiles. I think it's good. But the tough part is like, if I want to, for instance, like, this is a task list of all these little tasks that I want to do. And if I want to edit one, it just doesn't, like, they make it kind of difficult to, wait, maybe, okay, let me look just a little closer. Like, you have to open up the entirety of the task. Like, you can't edit in line, and it just gets kind of clunky, and then you can't add a new task in the, like, you can't add it from that table, which it's weird when, like, certain capabilities are available on the desktop version and then on the mobile version aren't available. So I'm still on the hunt. I want to love Xtiles, and I think for my, like, monthly or more creative stuff might work. And I'll show you kind of a quick example of that. And we are not exploring Xtiles. Engineering Improv. Okay, so there's all of the, I created a bunch of these, and eventually I want to make, like, templates for people, but there's the systems area. So I've got kind of, like, my goals for the year, and you can check mark them off, which are kind of cute. And, like, everything's pretty, like, reactive, which is nice. And so as I, like, make stuff here, it's cute. I also like there's like a pipeline, or so I have like, this is the most basics of a sales pipeline to be able to show like active projects, what stages they're in. And for instance, like if we go into here, I could also leave, you could make it a task and then do report for blah, blah, blah. And then you could say, like, you could take notes like, okay, today's 3/16/2026 team meeting. And then you can make whatever amount of notes underneath that, which I do kind of like that. So I think for like CRM purposes, I'll probably still use it. And I think it's the more that I use it, the more I'm going to like it. But what I don't like is, well, it's not that I don't like it. It's more of, I think I'm still mourning the loss of my finch bird. So it was nice that like you didn't have to look at all the tasks you didn't do the day before. You could just show up to the day and like that's, it's just a fresh slate. It's like a pre-filled out sticky note with just here's what you should do today. But the thing is with this is if I make like a recurring thing that I want to do every day, like a recurring task, if I don't do it for 4 days, it makes you click through all the days you didn't do it, which talk about a fucking shame factory. Ugh, which is my own problem, but I don't know. I'm 50-50. I'm still exploring X tiles. But yeah, I wanted to bring updates on what I did last week. But let's just get to what we're doing this week. I'm kind of nervous because I'm not feeling, it's the weirdest thing to feel so deeply inspired and motivated. Like, okay, actually, tea. So I posted, what I recognize about last year and why Office Hours with Amber was so successful last year was because I had clear direction. I had clear goals each month of exactly what I wanted to accomplish. And I knew if I was to focus on those 12 things each of the months, I was going to get to a solution. Like I was going to feel whole and rounded by the end. And what's happening now is I'm doing a task a week and I'm getting into a rhythm of like completing the task before the next week, which is good because before it was like this gray amorphous, like, yeah, I tried it, which is good because movement and progress is good, but it's that itchy little like, oh. So what I've been doing is these look so horrendous. We've been sticky noting. Look at all like the grease from my lunch. Horrific. But what's been really good is each day I'll write down like the top 5 things I'd want to get done, and then I end up getting 2 to 3 done, and then I feel great. And so I've been moving back to analog. I love me a sticky note. But what I'm finding is I've got so many achievable, completable tasks. And so it's tough because you don't see the progress when you're looking at all the micro moments. And I think even last year I would say this. But last week I actually completed a task from 2 weeks ago. I finally got a Calendly link set up on my website where people can schedule introductions with me. And that solves the problem of, Amber, you always seem so busy, or Amber, like, I don't want to bug you. Girl, oops, bug me all you want. Literally, bug me all you want. That would be really great, actually. So on my website, there's now at the bottom of it a Calendly, which is so good. The other cool thing I did, and I'll show you my monitor, I updated my website a little bit. Actually, let me pull it up on my phone. I think it's cuter this way. If you go to peachyprofitability.com, I updated it because I was watching a TikTok and they were talking about if your website doesn't answer the question of what you do and how it relates to the person within the first 10 seconds, why do they care? And I know that's like a little aggressive, but it felt like a nice little prompt. So what I did is like, now when you go to my website, it starts with, I wish there was a better way to do blah. I wish there was someone who could help. I wish I had time to do blank. And then it goes, great news, you're in the right place. And then it goes into my normal nonsense. But I finally took a stab at updating my website because I've been putting that off for so long. But yeah, now at the bottom as well, and we'll see if it actually comes through. There's a Calendly so you can see and you can schedule time with me, which is so good. And that was on my list for a long time. So I'm glad that I've accomplished some of my tasks. But anyways, I have a side plot. You might be saying, Amber, you have a lot of side quests. And I recognized recently that there is this theme of I've always got something going on. And I posted on TikTok because what I realized is a lot of the things that I really want to accomplish but don't feel like I have the creative accountability for is I would love more women in editing or people who know more about editing or like video editors. Like I feel like I'm not a super professional editor, so like the most of the videos that I see are like, oh my gosh, professional. But then I'm not a CapCut user because I just hate CapCut. But then I also don't like the AI cutters. But I'm using Opus Clip right now to just chop out good bits and accepting imperfection and just posting things. Because if I want to help more people have to see it so that I can then do what I need to do to help more people. And so I'm like, God, I just hate it. And I'm really good at starting projects, but I'm really horrible at ending them. So I want to utilize the same framework that I have for Office Hours with Amber because that worked so famously last year. How do I make the same level of like, how do I surround myself with more people that inspire me? Ipso facto, I went to TikTok and I said, hey, are there other women in editing or content creation or something? And there was like 5 or 6 people who reached out and they're like, I'm also looking for women who edit. And I'm like, wonderful. So shout out to my girl Bridie. We had a meeting yesterday and I was thinking about making a Discord to collect all of us women who have a lot of stuff going on. And so I kind of want to crowdsource women with skills because and it was amazing talking to Bridie on the phone. Like she has a background in choreography as well as comedy writing and improv group and mother of 3 and like edits her own videos and films her own videos. And I'm like, women are so cool. Love you guys. Love men. You guys are great. But like, truly, women are so magical. And I'm like, I would love to surround myself with more women who have projects going on. And most people, like most women I talk to have so many projects going on. Same thing with like, my girl Ashley, and she was doing the Lego Labrador. Like, and all on top of like 600 other things. And Emily has so many like blankets and needle crafts as well as like professional and self-development projects. And so what if I got all of these like wildly driven, late diagnosed neurodivergent women with a lot of hobbies and skills in one place, and I'm going to build a Discord called She's Got Projects. Like, and maybe I bought the domain name already. I don't know. It's just it's the tough thing is I need to build my business. But this is like a side quest of the business because what's going to get me to do more of these creative tasks on my list is being surrounded by more women that inspire me to do that. And what's cool about She's Got Projects is eventually, because right at the beginning, it's going to be a lot of like body doubling, info sharing, maybe like doing like a group lunch and learn situation. But then eventually it could be a situation of like, oh, hey, I need a video edited. Is there anyone in this group that I could like pay to do that? Or is there someone who could do graphic design or like crowdsourcing good, fun women all in one place, multifaceted. And then Bridie came up with like, she kind of talked about it in the way of like, yeah, like feminism and like the matriarchy is really of bringing out like the shared resources of the group, and like this is like building a digital village. So I'm kind of what she's got projects is going to be is kind of a women's digital makerspace. And I'm speaking it into the universe very early, so I hope that doesn't squish my like the fate of the universe on me. But I'm excited about it, and I think I'm kind of using that to motivate myself It's kind of like buying a pair of gym shorts and a new pair of shoes to get you go to the gym. You need to go to the gym, but like maybe sometimes you take an ulterior path to motivate yourself to do what you really need to do. Now, don't get me wrong, with engineering improv, I have been getting way more done than I would have thought. So I digress. I'm stalling. Anyways, okay. So we've got, let's see. We're going to sort it by created date by latest. Okay. Some new additions this week is I would love a data randomizer or data depersonalizer. And I set up the Gmail already, so that's complete. Good. Trade shows, projects, trademark, P&L, client portal. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that's in here. Okay, cool. Okay, we're going to take that. We're going to throw it in our wheel of names. And let's see what we're doing this week. I hope it's nothing dumb. I don't want to. Okay, so I already did this. So that's actually great. Because that's what I did in the X tiles. Pipeline. Pipeline. That is complete. Proud of me. Yay. Okay, cool. Okay. What's next? What's next? Well, well, I can't really do that in the hour. But, okay, side note. So what I did do is, okay, so it's going to sound like I'm stalling again, but I did technically solve the process of getting testimonials. So for my consulting hours, I made a form on Airtable where people can submit, which honestly, yeah, I'll just drop it in here. So what I did, let me get the link. So for getting testimonials, what I did is I built a form. Okay, so what I did. So I technically already did this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this in the chat. And if you want to give me some feedback, you feel free. And if not, zero worries. But what I will do is I will put the link to this in my YouTube bio, maybe, because I would love to just get feedback generally. So anyways, so what I did is basically after someone completes a session with me that's booked through Calendly, they'll get a follow-up email like 2 hours after, and it'll ask them these questions. So 1 to 5, how effective was the session for you? What feelings did you experience during our call? Now, why this is important to me is because if you just say, oh, how did it go? That doesn't really get to the point. So if I want to know if someone feels rushed or overwhelmed or cautious, or this opens the door for them to be honest about how they were feeling. Because if I just ask an open-ended question, there's a circumstance nobody wants to say, I don't know, I was feeling kind of icky afterwards. This openly, like, there's 5 good words, kind of, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 to 6 negative to neutral, but neutral is negative in my world. So 6 negative words. And so I'm excited and I hope that people will fill this out. And there's a situation where you could be like hopeful and overwhelmed. So those are like really key insights that I care about. Okay. Additionally, what was the most valuable part of your experience and what could make your experience better? Can I use this feedback publicly, and your email if you want to be open for questions. So not that I don't want to lean more into this, but I did already create a pathway. So if you'd like to leave me some feedback, I would love to hear it. But I put the link in the chat if you'd like. And then I'm going to put it into the bio of this video as well. Unless it won't let me edit while we're live, then that's different. Man, I don't know if you guys have made a new YouTube account lately, but like it just feels like everything's everywhere, but like nowhere also. Live, edit. Okay. There's now feedback form in that. Okay. Man, we're off to the races. Third time's a charm. Let's do it. Templates on Etsy. So this one was submitted by Ashley Roberts, and I think what we need to start with is, okay, I like this idea. I need a piece of paper. So I like the idea of Etsy templates dash digital assets. The reason I put this on the list is because I think the nice thing about Etsy templates that you would like Excel templates, or even like organizational tool templates that you put on the internet, you can make some side money with, which is kind of nice. And so I think what actually one of my digital assets might be is the PDF I made for the conference, which would be like my hypothesized equation for growth, which is value, accountability, novelty, capacity. So it was that cute one that I did back then. So I think that would be a good one. I think I would just need to adjust it, like the words on it a little bit so that it's like has nothing to do with the conference. And like maybe take off the year 2026. Value, accountability, novelty, capacity document. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to also do is like look at what's on Etsy already, because there's no sense in creating something that's already there. Or one, like if I see a bunch of like nonsense templates, maybe that's going to embolden me to bestow even my like good enough templates instead of creating like the craziest thing. So research Etsy current availability. And then also big exciting news, guys. Your girl might have landed herself her first affiliate situation. Maybe not first, but I've been drinking so much night shift energy on my call, like on these. Thank you, Matt, for subscribing. But yeah, big news. I might be getting some night shift energy and partnering with them on some stuff. So pretty cool. But the problem is I'm so pooped and exhausted today because I'm out. So I'm going to have to order some here shortly. But we will be off to the races. I think I need to edit the live stream name since we're in it as well. Boop, 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 bum. Okay. The name of the video has changed. We are good. YouTube is good. Close that. We are good. Okay, and you're going to see what I've been searching for in Etsy, and you're going to be like, nice, Amber. So don't judge me. How dare. Yeah, basically fake nails and glasses has been what I've been looking for lately. Okay, I'm just gonna type in an Excel and see what happens. Whoa. Now these are beautiful. But like you see here, like between 5 and 30 bucks. 12,000 plus okay, let's see what this means. That's cool. Hi, Mom. How are you? That's just crazy. $5. Which honestly, I mean, if I actually took the time to make my own like nice spreadsheets again, I don't think I'd need X Tiles to be honest. But X Tiles is so fun and nice. Wow. These are a little overwhelming. Oh, Mom, you'll be excited to hear. I did my artist date yesterday, and that's when I was trying to start thinking about these are crazy. I started exploring the idea of the She's Got Projects Discord group. So that's what I did for my artist date yesterday. The pursuing of video creation. Oh, the coffee cups are funny. I excel. Okay, okay. So I get a vibe here. And I'm wondering, it's a lot of pastels I'm seeing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking with the template bundle. Like, there's just surely no way. And for $5, now this one's cute. Hmm. So many circle graphs, which is kind of funny. I'm like at a loss for words. I think really I don't like what I'm imagining with these digital assets is it would be something that would be listed on my website. I don't think I'm going to be found through Etsy. It's more of like that's a pathway for commerce, but I wouldn't have to use Etsy because I mean I could list it there just because. Um hmm. There's like parts of me that are looking at these that I don't know. I'm like kind of feeling a little icky about it. I kind of like that they could put videos in here though. Okay, 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 okay. I have a different idea. Let's just use Claude. And I know AI is the devil, but the world's burning anyway. Um, no, actually I have a new idea. Okay, I had an idea yesterday. Um, I had an idea. So, we just updated our pricing at Good Trade Depot. And what I was thinking would be a really nice, like I was thinking through my customer centricity brain. And what would be cool, because we're about to send that PDF out to people, but you want to know what the first thing people are going to do? Like if I was a new client to Good Trade Depot, thinking through their life cycle, they're probably just starting their brand or like just starting beverage production. So they're probably might need, a lot of people might need to they might need funding. And so what do you need when you're funding? A PowerPoint deck and a financial model. Financial model lives in Excel. So by me sending out the our pricing flyer in a PDF is kind of shitty because then they're going to have to go back and fix it anyway. So what I think might be a cool mechanism is if we use our pricing. If I was to have on our Good Trade Depot website a cost simulator that our clients could use for, like, basically it would have all of our pricing and then they could say by month in the increments of like pallets or whatever, but having it connect. So like if you do a production of X amount of dollars or X amount of cans, that turns into this many pallets of storage. That many pallets of storage, if you sell this many things, you're going to be charged for this many pick packs. Based on those sales next month, then you're going to have X, like the X minus the Y. Not like you just sold inventory. So kind of like a baby inventory planner while also a cost simulation, because then you only have so many, it's kind of like a simulation of their warehouse environment and that they could plug into their financial model without having to completely copy paste a lot of things. And so I think that would be a good use of time today, because it's already in the realm of something that I think a lot. Then what's nice about that is if they take that download and they're like, whoa, this is a lot of details. That's an automatic plug for Peach Profitability to be like, hey, we got a girl that can do Excel for you. Like we can make that financial model. And I've already built the bones and mechanisms of how it all works together. Yeah. Let's do it. I should probably medicate first. Man, I can't tell you guys. I am so tired. But this is going to be a speed run of me trying to complete this in 30 minutes, which I think is achievable because I already put my pricing grid in Excel. I just need to do like a basic. I'll probably reference one of the old full stack modeler templates. Or it's like the train I'm riding. You like the train that I'm on? It's such a teeny tiny pill. I kind of forget that, like, feel like I missed it. Okay. We could do it, Mom. I believe in us. Okay. Also, it's snowing today. Basic is included, option to upgrade. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. I need to get some files pulled open. We'll see if I remember where I saved it. Ah, the way I'm thinking. Okay, cool. Side note, what are you guys working on this week? What's the vibes? Oh my gosh, hi Bridget. Happy that you're on the train, because then it gets them out of your face also. Mm. Uh-oh. I'm gonna be 7 levels of upset if I didn't save that file last night. Because I worked on it for so long. Not killing coworkers. Hell yeah, Mom. Okay. I found it. Okay, good. I found it. Had a meeting with the new MECC group. Cool. Trying to. Okay. So I did. Okay, here we go. So this is gonna look like a disaster because it is. And so this is kind of our, let me maybe, oh, okay. One moment. One moment. You know when you change the formatting of one but not the other? That's what I did. Okay, so we've got all this updated pricing, and I threw this into ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, into Claude yesterday, and I said, could you like do your best attempt at making like a financial simulator for this? Not shocking, it did not do well. It like formatted a pretty thing, and if you didn't look closer, Morris. Random. Building cost estimator template. Okay, I'm gonna get my brain back together here shortly. Anyway, so I threw it into Claude. I said, do your best with what you got. It gave me what I'm about to show you. I don't love it, and I'm gonna be changing it. So do not judge me. This is just our updated pricing. So again, she's not very cute. None of my business. We've got the details. This is an old simulator I had made, so where people could put in basically the breakout of what their quote was, and then put in like I made some cute logic with this so that, and I'm gonna reuse some of this logic. So for instance, if they had a 25,000 can run and it was 12 cans per case and this many cases per pallet, it would say the projected number of pallets. And if they were trying to estimate the full amount of their costs over the duration of time, they could say, okay, I'm going to sell it all in 2 months versus 8 months. And it would auto decrement like a straight line linear regression, like a linear regression. Am I dumb? Wait a minute. Let's find out. Because regression isn't just a linear regression. I mean, it is, but it's based on a bunch of plots. It's the regression part, linear graph. I was just meaning linear graph. I'm full of shit. Okay, anyways, it's just a linear graph of like, if you were to sell the same amount each month, you would total up this much over the time duration that we're planning. So if you sell out in 2 months, yeah, your storage liability is only like $787, but if it takes you 8 months, that's $2,300. So people could then make educated decisions from the jump. So you reuse that logic, which is just this cute little let statement that just sequences through all the different months. So cute. And then in terms of e-commerce, so there's also this idea that they might sell in 4-packs or 8-packs, 12-packs, whatever. And so dividing those cans divided by those is going to also depend, like if you sell all 4-packs, then yeah, your pick pack liability is going to go way up because there's way more things to pick pack. Whereas depletion, exactly. Whereas if you have 24-packs, you're not going to have to send out as many packages. But then you have the added complexity of the average price to ship from Michigan to Washington or Arizona. So then you can do a little bit of analysis. And when people are going through all of the beginnings of owning their brand, like these are all questions that they kind of have to answer. So when they come to us, they're like, well, maybe I'll do a 25,000 can run or 100,000 can or 3,000 cans. But that's going to impact then, because at the beginning, 3,000 cans, you might have something of the lines of like, it might be like $2 a can to produce. But your storage liability, your pick pack liability, your shipping liability, way up. So like goes way down if you're doing 3,000 cans. And so that's where I think making some sort of like basic calculator for them to be able to do stuff makes the conversation easier, because then they know what kind of money they're signing up for, and their investors will know what kind of money they're signing up for and where it's going exactly. Because logistics is expensive. So I want to equip them with the tools. But if you were to look at this page, you'd be like, what the fuck? So like that's where, haha, I come back in and I'm relevant again. but that's okay. But I've already built some of these tools, which is nice. Now, this is what this is what this is what ChatGPT kind of, or what Claude kind of came up with. And I think structurally she looks kind of cute, but like eh, I don't I don't think we need to do all this like eh, that stuff they could add to their own we don't need to be managing all of their like SG&A, to be honest. Like all I really want to show is yeah, we're deleting all of that. And it's tough when you're working with like someone else's template and you already start itching and you're just like, throw it all out. I'll start from scratch. Especially when I learned all of those good things from the full stack modeler, like, oops, with the like first the columns and stuff. So I'm going to dig up one of my old financial models that I did for an exercise there. And then, because I'm trying to just not keep recreating the wheel because it's tough because every time I just feel a little, oof. Also, Mom, those are my brand colors. They just don't translate well to the Excel. And red on Excel just she's tough. She is tough. Old tools. Man, it's hard looking at old tools because you're like, I see where you were going with it, but God, how horrendous. Oh, no, you're fine, Mom. You're fine. You're fine. I know this is super fun watching me just stare at a screen because I have all of these like in the middle is like client projects versus templates that I've made. So I'm like, don't open that one. Okay, so let's see. Let me gut this real quick. I don't think I really can. Okay, let me steal some of my logic and then we will be off to the races. Let me delete some other things. Okay, okay. I think I've gutted it far enough that it is pretty... Okay, this is gonna look super duper ugly, but that's okay. So I like the way that the full stack modeler, like general good modelers, have this kind of setup over here where they have consistently like their variables and their rolling unit, like their rolling time periods and their totals and their units. It's all good. So what I'm gonna do is then I'm going to, which I also don't care about their cash. That could be a later thing. Beginning. Okay, now I'm just gonna speed run, which I think I'm gonna put on some music so that you guys aren't sitting in silence. Stream safe. We need like something chill. This is fun. Okay, I'm gonna turn that down though. Do we like the vibes? If not, let me know. Okay, let's do it. Which I also love about financial models is just hiding the rest of the columns so that you can quickly like toggle things through. So blessed. We're only gonna make it for 12 months because like realistically nobody needs more than that. Not from me. There we go. Don't care about this tab because it gets covered in the others. Don't care about this tab. Nope, don't care. It was kind of garbage anyway. This is also the beginnings of like a very basic forecasting tool. Oops. I'm actually going to do revenue assumptions after the cost expectations, because I think a lot of times people are like, well, I'll start selling when I know how much I have to sell. And then similarly, it's like, well, I'll get stuff if I know how much I'm going to sell. Like, it's like the chicken and the egg of like, well, I'll produce what I need to sell. And it's like, or we're going to make this. Oops. Whoa. I think there's a button for making this all lowercase, right? Or like... What would be nice is to have subsections underneath where you could expand and collapse and have like speaking of which, found out from Emily the other day, if you are grouping, you can group and you can put the group at the top so it expands down like that instead of a plus sign at the bottom. Revolutionary, changed my life. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to put like, you know, citric acid and salt. I don't fucking know. Minerals, flavoring, whatever. And being able to do like total gradients. Doing like a sum and then being able to divide the ingredients by can. Something like that. That's a later S issue. We're gonna pretend like those are real numbers. Don't care about any of this. I don't really care about their complete cash flow planning, to be honest. Not at the moment. Really, I should be referencing both, but that's okay. And then I'll put a checkbox on if they're using that service or not. And then if formula If that, oops, not what I meant. This equals true, not that color. Yeah. Then it tells them what they need to fill out. Yeah. Because otherwise it just gets a little overwhelming. And then I've done something wrong. Oh, you want to know why? Because it's not locked in one direction. Silly girl. There we go. Wonderful. Beautiful. Nice. Nice. Okay, so what I just did there is if their cans are 12, I don't want it to highlight that. But it is. I didn't know you could do a equation on top of a checkbox. But which is nice because then they can't even click it because, and I'm going to do a similar thing. Whoops, not what I meant. I think wait a minute. Does that work that way? Yeah, I guess it does work that way. I just want it for these two, though. Because then they won't even click it because it looks like they can't. You know what I mean? Okay. I feel good that is going to be a very useful template for people to use that I think a lot of customers will get a lot of use out of. It's going to educate them on our prices and how the mechanics of that work. It's going to clear up a lot of miscommunications, I think. It's going to get me some financial modeling expertise, experience with my own data, which is nice. And then I think it'll be nice. And I think the customers will like it. And then eventually I'll make it available. So then if you're working with a different co-packer or a different industry, you could just fill it out with your own things. That's the point. Okay. I appreciate you guys coming to the new Office Hours with Amber YouTube channel. If you have any interest in industrial engineering services, you know where to find me, ptprofitability.com. I now have a Calendly link. Whoop, whoop, let's party. Okay. I'm going to go take a fat nap though, because today's been tough. Hee hee. I will talk to you guys later.